that is the rate of unemployment and poverty levels in IGANGA. Tugenda kuba tutunuulira how big is this thing, but also tukoze tutya okujjawo ebintu bino. Njagala kusooka bawa information. 78% of Ugandans below the age of 30 lack serious jobs. The World Bank in 2009 said 80% of 15 to 24-year-olds of Ugandans are unemployed. And of course, IGANGA is one of those places in Uganda. What are some of the jobs that young people do here in IGANGA? Yes, sir.
Most of the youth, others do border business, ride borders around town. Others bakola offices. Yes, sir. Others government offices. That kind of thing.
Most of people in Busoga, the parents have not taken time to take their children to school. That is why you are finding them doing these local jobs. They don't have papers.
And I disagree with my brother, talking about the level of unemployment being on about the issue of education. That's so much I disagree with it. Yes. Because people in IGANGA are educated. People have books. People have learned to at least to a minimum level that can make somebody survive in community. But there is just a
minimum level primary school.
Yeah, minimum level. Somebody can survive in the community, can work, can write, and can do at least a reasonable job.
In your opinion, what's the minimum level you're talking about?
Minimum level of education is at least P7 class. And then when you move to other levels, like O level, that's at least when you come to the moderate class of studies. The problem with Busoga, the problem with IGANGA is about the cause of no jobs, is about the situation that's leaving people in Busoga. The local people cannot create jobs unless when you talk about going to dig, despite of that, going to farms.
See,
and
you just opposed what he said, that people are not educated.
And
you said that most of them are in P7 lever. What do you expect a P7 lever? What kind of job?
Lever can make projects.
I have a point to advance. When you talk about education, it's paramount when you're talking about job creation. But the point is the nature of education that people are going through. Besides, we need people who can create employment, job creators, people who have vocational skills, employable skills. But we go to school, you leave school when you have any employable skill. Right. Like in IGANGA, we have 2 technical institutes, and people are coming out of these institutes. They are builders, they can do carpentry, and most of the people, they think, I'll go to Muira, I go to Makerere, I study social work and social administration, you come to manage people, but no one is ready to be managed. But we want you to create something, make like shoemaking. Some Kenyans are coming here, like they're making shoes, and they are trading shoes around town, and they're getting money. We are people paying them for the shoes.
Yes, sir. Let me just,
okuteesa kwange yaliwo omwami ole kyakobye ekisinzire ekyokubavubuka ndini kyentakaniamu ku byavubuka ku byokukola byakobye ebyokukola abavubuka abasinga bonje bali kugema siringi nga dakobye bageme singi 10 bajja matatu bagafuula omulimu ge bavueyo nga bamaze bamukubire yesende nabali kwida batwiba nabali kwida batwiba ajene sende dajiredo badimukubireyo eggolo bali kutwegula mayumba ebintu ebyo tubibona tutya obukulembeze batulina nobe butuwonya ebintu ebyo.
The levels of unemployment in IGANGA are so high. That is a fact. One is having a problem is attributing it to leadership, which is true. Here, leaders have a problem. Leaders manipulate processes. Like you realize in IGANGA municipality, as is saying, abamu at levels at the helm of leadership are Muslims, and they want everybody to be to work in the municipality who is a Muslim. That is also true. But we also have a problem at the district level, where you are having so many young people have their papers, they want to access jobs. But you find that most of the leaders manipulate systems. They want baina ababwe bagala batekewo. Nekirala baba sabe sente nyingi.
Wait, you pay money to get a job?
Yes,
what happens.
It's true.
If you want
they
a
have been recruiting parish chiefs, they have been recruiting teachers, and you're asking a teacher to contribute about 500,000. So I would say virtually that the problems we have in these districts can be attributed to leadership, then also genuinely we have so many people who are qualified. Government has not come out to regulate these so-called issues of investor and vis-a-vis the problem minimum wage and so on.
Another point, most of the the youths in IGANGA, they neglect jobs. When you talk about like setting chapati, someone will say, how will this They don't have the jobs and they are contented not having a job but not ready to do another job that can bring bread to his table. So that is a serious problem. And and when it comes to youth, female, it is worse.
The reason why
they end up looking for gentlemen. We have a main street around here. We have a serious place. They go there. They are paid 5,000. You have sex with the guy. You go out.
That is a gentleman.
So you know,
not by so that
seriously. So what's happening? Like that is because Kunyoma Miriam. But if you like take the initiative, that let me go and start maybe selling chapati. Maybe let me go and start getting skills like saloon. When you can plait hair, you can do anything with the hair. That's a job. You can earn a living. And then the other issue which I can look at, when we talk about education, you a teacher, you want a job, but you cannot operate a computer. And in a .com world, I mean, in IGANGA we don't have like a youth center where they can go and have like computer training. They even don't know what they call Facebook.
Asimbe wakati yao. Asimbe wakati. Yagala tubere genuine. I agree that the youth have problems with accessing computers and internet. That is true. But we should also realize that the town you're talking about, the levels of poverty are high. Abana basoma, nibamala okusoma tebalina mirimu. Ate olwokuba tebalina mirimu, tebalina kye basobola kukola. Even what is at the minimum they can't afford. And their parents wasted a lot of time, batuuza amataka gabaweddeko, batuuza ebintu bye balina bibaweddeko. So you find that unemployment ate egenze ate neyingira kinene nnyo mu nsawo z'abantu ne mu maka. That's why that when you are relating IGANGA and the other towns, you realize that, and Busoga and other districts realize that here, because we have fewer people working in better positions, even in positions of leadership, even at national level, or in better positions in the private sector or civil government. So when you look at the circle of how money rotates it, the small money that comes back, that comes back to the community. So that means that even our towns and the shape of the people cannot take off.
Gwalieka nawe njagala obeere a part of this okujja ku kati pozi abavubuka beiganga ate mu ntiisiza nnyo. So we don't know how to get your views. Omuwa temugenze ku Facebook. But just head over to our Facebook page to Chibuzo. What can we do to reduce the high unemployment levels in IGANGA? It's a problem nationwide, but what can we do now that we are in IGANGA? Tweet us at Minibuzz Uganda, SMS, type the word Minibuzz, your comment or suggestion, and send it to 6565. Twafinya mukusanya tuogane Hassan Bogere, who is the vice chairman of IGANGA. Take a look at what he has to say, but to come out to relate the efforts of leadership. What are they doing? Are there any people trying to create jobs? And also, something that you, as an individual, should start doing. Kubanga, the jobs may not be created.
You might have to create it yourself.
Your own jobs. Take a look at this.
The level of unemployment in IGANGA district, I must tell you that it is a very big challenge in the district because most of our people are not employed. As the IGANGA district, we are trying to advise our youth to form groups whereby they can be advised, most especially in agriculture, they can get advisory services into those groups. And the savings and credit cooperative societies, those ones also we have a challenge because a good member in a cooperative must be able to save. But after forming those cooperative societies, then they ask what to save because they are not employed. Then we encourage them to go into production, but there is also a challenge whereby the inputs, the cost of inputs, they are high and they cannot access. If we advise them that can you not visit these financial institutions so that you can get credit facility. The main challenge there, the youth, they don't have any collateral security. I would want to encourage our peoples during enterprise selection, because there we get a number of challenges when it comes to marketing, that let them use our technical people when they want to decide what to do after carrying out what we call the cost-benefit analysis, depending on the available resources they have, most especially the size of the land which they want to use, the size of capital, if capital has been mobilized, so that we can get useful youth in the country or in the district who will be productive in the near future, so that we can try to eliminate or to reduce the level of poverty in the district.
A 35-year-old Halima Namusobia had graduated from Chambogo in 2004, and she was eager to start a career. But she was disappointed after walking the streets and couldn't find anything. And so she went, got a loan, and bought a boda boda. A woman who bought a boda boda and started doing it. She's here in IGANGA. And she studied a bachelor's degree in development studies. Why should someone who went up to the university come back and start doing a boda job? Watch it again and that's what we are looking at today. The effects Muzimuride. What is the effort of the leadership?
The problem we have with our leaders here, I'm sorry to say this, but they are illiterate, let me say. They have low levels of education. Yes, you find that you have here, for example, you have a counselor in your area, but he's a P7 dropout or senior 4. Now how will he go and drop for some donors to come here so that they can bring something for
a counselor, P7 leave?
Yes. You find that you can't even present
documents. Yes, sir. Sebo ekigambo ekyo ky'obuuziza abaasoma tulinabo muno era ng'omwana ono gwakuyizemu n'akukoberako abaasoma tulinabo muno. Aye okukulonda ge kumala ne kutuuka tulina omuvuyo okusobola okuyiddamu balemeseza omusaadde yasoma n'ajja tuteekeza ekinaajja mu maiso baatwala omuntu ataasoma olw'okulonda okw'abantu kuno kwe baleeta okulonda abasinga bungi kasa muntu aba na ssente balonda ow'essente baliko omusaadde n'ajja okututeekeza ekijja mu maiso era kyoli kubona nikyentuuseeku ekigemagana eidwaliro baleeta olw'omusomi bamutagansi baatwala ataasoma bamutagangulu olw'obukulembeze obubi.
Okay, in a world of unemployment, how are you managing to eat lunch and supper every day? As in bichibye mukoze ko kulaba nti mu surviving at a personal level, at an individual at an individual level.
There are youth who who maneuver through these other processes. Like Twinawa Bavubuka wano, who have begun bitter industries. You have heard of bitter industries in Kawempe, Bakolengatu. They don't have capital. The other day I was interacting with them. I told them, now we can talk to the minister in charge of trade. And the minister, what the minister did was recommended them to a bank. Bank have already said. They were telling me, bank etwagalako security. They have a factory. They print their shoes. They had the stock. So they had an order to print about 5,000 for other security companies that wanted the Gato Zava guards. They could not afford. You realize that those other youths who can maneuver through the processes are not helped. Those who have done can earn a living. Others who have failed, they are the ones you are finding in the towns. Bazanyarudo, they're the ones you are finding, they are playing cards.
IGANGA, the youths have tried their level best because there are many sectors they have tried. We have IGANGA Youth Skill Center. We have the Royal Ventures, they make candles, vaccines, but we are lacking sponsorship.
After discovering that our leaders are business people who are targeting their own goals, what we are used in the municipal, because I'm one of the municipal leaders in the youth sector, we have just tried to come up with organizations as groups, as my brother said. But the only problem that we have, mostly as youths and youth leaders within ourselves, that despite of the being that we are not in good state financially, we collect ourselves and within ourselves to state up a living. We lay contributions within ourselves, but because we don't have good jobs that can make us live at a standard that can make us be happy, we end up, some of us, the few who can be able to at least make up projects we can initiate projects to help our fellow youth. Because when you go to leaders in their offices, nobody is willing to hear about your issues. Unless when you go and you have money to give in before you get something. That's among the problem that has affected most of our youths. That they have ended up, the few who are able to at least help others. We have tried that we can pioneer up projects that can help a few youths that they can come up and then get some employment.
Government yatukola bubi nnyo okujjawo omusolo ogw'omutwe kuba obwesanga wano mu Iganga omuvubuka najja ne yeetulira nakufa ku makya paka lwaggulu naye olaba luli omusolo egwali guliwo. You come when you have a reason. Hey, they chase you out of the town, but they come, they sit without any convenience. So the government did wrong to remove this.
So Goloza, if graduated tax,
yes,
now it doesn't help because we are at a very different rate of the country.
Ekyo kyagamba ekyomusolo tekiyamba teyandibadde wano singa ali mu kyalo because yandibadde omukwawa
sandibadde mu kyalo naye oba omanyi sandibadde mu kyalo nandibaddewo ng'ekinzija mu tawuni kutya musolo ekitegeeza nti okujja mu tawuni nina kukola nnyo mbeeremu
widde basoga tulina enkwe tuli bankwe temwagaliza oletayendeza mwine you find that somebody has started up something like this gentleman ayinza okubanga ayitawo avuga Prado nagamba oyo waduzi wano yena ali kwevuga you find somebody has started something small instead of you come and join him ogamba oyo afuna atya esente for example me they will say King Fadi evuga atya omuntu waido wano
omwana akuze wano nga
temubona enkwe nyingi mu
the unemployment levels there's a study that was done and the report showed that 12% of all youth in Uganda between the ages of 12 to 30 are chronically poor.
That's true. That's very true.
And the study, it was done among 1,000 youth. And they selected 11 districts, IGANGA inclusive of this. So, mwezo, abana tumanyi we are chronic.
As in tuli poor, chirioke, there's nothing we are going to do about it. That's the poor mentality.